What's up everybody? Today I'm going to be doing a video on the common coolant leaks for a BMW e46. So these cars have notoriously terrible cooling systems. Whenever you buy a BMW e46 with above like 70,000 miles, you absolutely need to redo the cooling system. So in this video I'm going to be going over some of the common problems with it and what to look for when you're either buying it or just inspecting your own cooling system. Alright everybody, so the first problem with the cooling system that I'm going to talk about is this expansion tank. So this is where all the coolant goes. That's like the extra stuff that's not in the system. This leaks almost all the time. Like you can see mine covering this white stuff. That's just old coolant that's dried up. But this can leak in many different places. Mine started leaking from up here near the cap, but yours could start leaking from here, and it could crack anywhere. Like mine had a bunch of cracks all over it. So yeah, that's definitely something to look for. If you see all this white stuff around, you know that there's a leak somewhere. It doesn't mean it's a horrible leak, it just means that it needs to be dealt with soon. Alright, the next common leak that I'm going to be talking about is these connections. These leak all the time if you didn't replace it correctly. If you didn't use a new O-ring and use the old one, it's not going to seal right and it could leak. It's probably just going to be a slow drip, but still it needs to be taken care of. It can also leak through right here. My friend's actually had a really bad leak, like right in here. My friend's E46 had a really bad leak, like right in this part, and he had to buy a new upper radiator hose because of that. This upper radiator hose also leaks right here at this connection. You can kind of see mine's leaking a little bit in there, but that's nothing to worry about. Yeah, but I would definitely recommend replacing this hose. Alright, the next part to consider changing is this thermostat and water pump underneath here. This is kind of a hard job compared to all the other things in the cooling system, but it absolutely needs to be done. BMW was stupid when they made this car and they put a plastic impeller on the water pump and it breaks off and it's a huge problem. I also recommend changing the thermostat because it's plastic, it breaks, it's cheap, and it's going to cause a problem sometimes, so you might as well just change that so it's not a problem. The next part of the cooling system that I would recommend changing is the lower radiator hose. Is this right here, and I recommend changing this because once you have everything apart, it's pretty easy to change. I had a leak actually here a while ago. This connection right here, when I changed it, I was stupid and I didn't put a new O-ring in. I think it's a coolant temperature sensor or level sensor, I'm not really sure, but it will leak if you don't put a new O-ring in, so don't make that mistake. Buy like the $3 O-ring kit on eBay and it will save you in the long run. Alright, and the last common leak that I can think of is the radiator. I also have a radiator leak right now, funny enough. Mine's leaking from right in here at the top where the upper radiator hose connects to the radiator. This is just spewing out coolant everywhere. Like that's why all this stuff is kind of covered, like right there. So that's another thing to consider. Like the whole radiator should just be ripped out. It's not that hard to do when you have everything apart, and there's a lot of stuff on it that could leak because it's just plastic, it's cheaply made, and it sees a lot of heat cycles because your engine gets hot and then it cools down. So if you see any leaks in like this area underneath the car, it's probably either the coolant overflow tank, or it could be the automatic transmission cooler, which is down here. This is only if you have an automatic transmission. It's at the very bottom. It's often overlooked, but I didn't change any of the O-rings and I haven't had a leak yet, but I've seen some videos where people have had leaks there. And another part of the cooling system is this fan. These are known to grenade themselves. Like these fan clutches are not the best. So a lot of people do conversions to electric fans, which I'm thinking about doing sometime. But for right now, I'm just keeping the belt-driven fan. It's definitely not worth ruining your engine and blowing a head gasket or cracking the head or block because you overheated your engine because you didn't want to change like a $3 part. So I recommend just changing it all so you don't have to worry about it, and then you have the peace of mind that everything's going to be okay. So hope you guys like this video. Hopefully you found it useful. If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. I hope you guys have a great day. See ya.